Alrighty people, what's poppin'? Welcome back to another video here. This is Baby here from NetNation.com. Back here with another video, guys. Welcome to our week 14 analytics predictions here. Oh no, wait, that should be week 13. Hold up. We got a small change up, but guys, welcome to our week of 13 analytics predictions here. We're here every single Thursday normally with the video, but since the Thanksgiving games are early, we are going to move this up for Thursday. For Wednesday night, Thursday morning, or whatever this gets out. So like I said, I do appreciate you guys' support. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe button. Make sure to join Discord. Follow me on Twitch. Both links are in the description. Make sure to go check it out. Also, do follow me on all social media, stuff like that. Make sure to share the channel. You guys have been doing a pretty good job with that so far. So like I said, I really do appreciate y'all's support. We had a lot of up and downs last week. A lot of up and downs here. The regular picks, we dominated. We went 12-2. I felt really good about that, which brings me over a record 219, 58-1 on the season. But the downfall is spread picks went 4-10, and now I'm under 500 between that and the over/under picks. So we got to do a better job on that. I did take a little bit more time than I normally do with these spread picks and over/under picks because I think I'm just due for a good week here. So yeah, not a good week for spread picks or over/under picks, but I think we can do a lot better than that. I think I'm going to challenge myself. That's why I had to take in a little bit more extra time to really think about what I was going to go with here. But I think I made my final decisions here. So let's go ahead and see what we got for analytics for week 13. Remember guys, there is no bye week teams this week. Every team is playing this week, so we get to go ahead and start here with the first game here on Thanksgiving. Here we have the Packers playing against the Detroit Lions here. I'm going to lean towards Detroit on this one. I'm going to take them 23-20 here. This game to me kind of feels like a game that could be decided either or. Could be a defensive game here. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards, because if you look at the Packers, they're coming off of a great performance last week over the Minnesota Vikings last week, and their defense was absolutely phenomenal. And if I'm being completely honest, I think they can keep this Lions offense in check. This Lions offense is not the same offense. They're missing their coordinators, which I actually do understand to that perspective, but I think the Lions can keep. I think the Packers can hold the Lions offense to some degree. They won't stop them because that's almost impossible, especially playing against a good offense like Detroit. But I think they can limit them. If their defense can go out there and it didn't do exactly what they did last week, then I think they can limit them at the number that will give them a fighting chance. And then their offense, man, the Packers' offense, I don't know how I'm really feeling about that. I don't know what to really expect out of their offense. Do I expect good things to happen, bad things to happen, mediocre things to happen? It's just a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions going on with their offense. Who's playing, who's not playing. Obviously, they still got some guys out. I don't know the status of Josh Jacobs as of right now. But Detroit at home, wearing those blue and gray on Thanksgiving, I got to give this letter here to Detroit, man. I think Detroit, I don't see the Green Bay Packers sweeping the Lions. I don't see it. I got to go with Detroit to win this one, but I can see the Packers winning this game. Maybe there is a scenario that the Packers defense goes out there and dominate, kind of like what we saw from the Lions, and they went over the Giants, even though I don't think the Lions really deserve to win that game, but they won it. And the Giants offense, Giants defense actually did a good job of keeping the Lions offense in check for like 3 quarters. So if the Packers can do that, maybe the Packers can walk away with this win here. But I'm not gonna do it. There's back-to-back games here in Detroit. I'm gonna count on them on making some more plays offensively. I trust their offense a little bit more. They have more explosive weapons on offense. So I think this one just really came down to whoever was home here. If this game was in Green Bay, I probably would go with the Packers here, but it's in Detroit, Thanksgiving. I'm going to lean towards the Lions, but I don't think this game is really going to be that much higher scoring than you guys think it is. Because normally you look at a matchup like this, it's like, oh my god, this is like high scoring matchup, stuff like this. So I'm not going to predict that. I think Packers defense can hold the Lions in check, and even though I am going to take the Lions as a better offensive team, they're at home. I think that's the kind of difference maker for me there. So I'm going to take Detroit -2.5. I think I know there was a lot of spread picks last week that I just there was a low pick and spread here, and I could have seen a team winning, but I didn't taking with the points. And every single time I did that, I think I got it wrong last week. So So yeah, I'm going to lean Detroit 2.5. That's way too small for me to pick the Packers, and you got to win by 1 point or less. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll take Detroit, and I'm actually going to go with the under with a surprise pick there at under 48.5. As I'm just rooting for the defenses here. I think the defense will do their job here. Packers defense can hold the Lions in check. So I think that overall I'm expecting a pretty good game here, but I'm going to lean towards Detroit in this one, 23-20. But I'm kind of nervous about that under 48.5 pick. But I'm going to trust the Lions to bounce back and get the job done here at home. Next up here, the second game on Thanksgiving is a fun one here. We got the Chiefs going into Dallas here. I'm going to take the Chiefs here 27-24, and I think there's a potential to be a shootout game. One of those games that I just think that both offenses are going to throw a whole bunch of points. But at the same time, there's some questions and some certainty why you might not think that can happen for some reason here. So if you look at the Kansas City's been kind of mediocre on offense so far this year. They haven't really been the same offense as we kind of really expected them to be. But I think they can throw points in this one. Sure, I will say this, and I think this is a fact. Dallas's defense has been improved. It's been improved. It's been getting better, but I'm not going to fall for it just yet. I think KC, I think they're going to go into Dallas and they're going to put up a number. But if you watch Dallas game against Philadelphia last week, they scored like 21 points in like, what was it, the second quarter, in 2 quarters. So I don't know how, but they blow that lead. Like I said, this is a kind of like the Detroit situation. Dallas won a game that they didn't really deserve to win last week, but I think they can keep this one in check. I think this game overall is going to be pretty close and pretty entertaining. I'm kind of predicting a shootout here, 27-24. I'm gonna go KC to win it because I think they will, just like last week over the win against Indianapolis. I think they will out execute Indy when it comes down to the clutch time situations here, but I don't know. I think this one could go either way here. Dak Prescott's playing out of his mind. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, they've all been playing well. Gaines playing in Dallas, so it could be a little tricky. But I'm going to lean towards KC on this one. I trust their execution more. I think this game my deciding factor for me on this one was coming down to the execution. And I think KC is one of the better teams in the league at doing it. I know it has not been this season, but when they executed teams, but they executed the Colts last week down the stretch. I'm kind of expecting them to execute teams down the stretch, especially when it matters more and when going more into playoff time here. So I'm going to lean towards the Chiefs with this one. Chiefs covered at 3.5, even though I'm not comfortable about it. There is a good chance that the Cowboys do cover the spread, but I'm not going to fall for it just yet. I'm not going to fall for their defense. I know, like I said, I know it's been improved, but I'm not going to fall for it, especially playing against Patrick Mahomes. He's been great so far this year. Rashee Rice, I think he's going to have a big day here. The running game, Isaiah Pacheco's coming back, so I'm going to lean towards the Chiefs in this one. I think they have enough offensive weapons to get past Dallas, but it's not going to be easy, though. And I'm going to take the over 47.5. I feel pretty safe about that. Both teams should be able to score the Rocky a little bit. Even though the reason is I do give this side to KC on defense. I think KC is the better defensive team here, so I got to go with the Chiefs for this one. Over 47.5, like I said, I'm feeling pretty confident about that. I think both teams are going to have the ability to move the rock down the field, and the Chiefs do allow points. I mean, they don't allow a lot, but they allow points every so often. So feeling pretty good about the over 47.5. But I'm going to lean towards KC getting the job done, out executing Dallas when it really matters, and for them to win the game. By the way, one more thing, I forgot to announce that this is the best game of the week because that's just what this is, and I have a lot of potential here, but that's what we got. KC wins. Next up, we got the Bengals playing against the Baltimore Ravens here. I have this one being a shootout. Like, I know the other game, I can see that one being a shootout, but this one I'm more comfortable about being in a shootout. I think this one's going to be a shootout here. And I think this one could go either way here. Baltimore's been playing really well over the course of their last, like, what was it, the last 5-6 games. They're hot. They haven't lost. They started the season 1-5, really started to need to win some games, got some wins together, have a 5-game winning streak currently with them, and they've been playing well. Now, one thing I will say about Baltimore is they're going to have to step up that offense, and I think they will here. I think they will have a decent chance to do that. Like I said in the pick show yesterday, I have not been pleased about their offense performance so far this year. I have not been pleased about it ever since they've been on this 5-game winning streak. I don't think we've seen the best out of their offense yet, and that could be a little suspicious, but I don't think so because you got to give Lamar Jackson come back from that bye. You just got to give the offense just in general some time to regroup, get back together. So I think they will here. Then the last game of Thanksgiving here, I'm going to take the Ravens to win this one 34-28. This is why I think their offense bounces back, and I think they're going to do that. Why not? They're playing against probably the worst defense in all of football. And if this is a game, I can easily pick Cincinnati to win because they got Joe Burrow back, they got Jamar Chase back. But like I said, the problem is in the pick show yesterday, T. Higgins is now out. He's dealing with a concussion. I don't think he's going to be playing in this one. I think he already ruled him out. This game being in Baltimore, I think this is going to be a very tough place. This is going to be a very tough game for Joe Burrow to come back in, playing on the road, playing against the Baltimore Ravens, one of the hottest teams in all the football here. So I'm not going to trust it. I mean, I could see it. I can see Joe Burrow maybe coming in here, making this game competitive, and that's what I'm going to do here. You know, Joe Burrow leading the way with that offense. I think the Bengals will throw up points, especially. I know the Ravens defense has been better, but they've been allowing some stuff on the pass. So I do think the Bengals should be able to have some success offensively with him and Jamar Chase coming back here. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. I'm not going to trust the Bengals defense. That's just my deciding factor as well. I don't trust Cincinnati's defense. This defense is probably one of the worst in football. I just don't trust it. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's going to stop Baltimore. Baltimore should be able. They should have the best offensive performance on this current 5-game winning streak. Well, I have a 16 winning streak. This should be their best offensive performance of the season here. So, going to take them 34-28. I'm going to take Cincinnati with the points here, plus 7.5. I recently looked at that line. I thought that was too much. You know, if Joe Burrow was out, yes, I probably would have hit the Ravens with the spread there, but I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think they keep this one close. I think they win. I think they win this game by 7 or less. So I feel pretty good about that. I'll take the Ravens, and I'm gonna take over 49.5. I think that feels like a pretty easy pick for me there. But like I said, I can see this game being the best game of the week. I gave the sliders to KC and Dallas, but just because the only reason I did is because of the uncertainty of this game and what we're going to get out of Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. You know, they have guys coming back that we just don't know what to expect here. So that's why I gave the sides to that game here. This one's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one for sure on Thanksgiving. Like I said, a very, very fun Thanksgiving slate. But I'm going to go with the Ravens here in the squeaker on Thursday Night Football. Next up here, we have the Black Friday game between the Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to go with the Eagles here. And like I said, this is my 1-point game of the week. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody can see that. This is my 1-point game of the week, and I think that's understandably so. And I think there's a good reasoning for this game to be 1-point game of the week. And matter of fact, if you guys pick the Bears to win this game, I'm not gonna be mad at you. I can see the Bears winning this game. I'm not gonna lie, because if we're talking about like right now, the Bears are by far the better offensive team right now. They just seem like more consistent. I think they have the better coaching when it comes down to offense. But here's the thing: Philadelphia's defense was absolutely dominant last week. I mean, they just for the first half against Dallas. Yeah, I know they did a lot of points in the second half, but their defense has been improving too. I know allowing 24 points to Dallas is actually pretty good because how the way Dallas has been slinging the ball on everybody. But yeah, Philadelphia had some good defensive moments last week. With this game being played in Philadelphia, I think that was a deciding factor for me. Like if this game was in Chicago, I'll probably go with the Bears, but it's in Philadelphia. I think they barely squeak this one out. I'm gonna take them 24-23, but I'm not super comfortable about it here because I think the Bears have actually been playing better football than the Eagles as of late. I know the Eagles are good, but they haven't really played like up to their fullest potential. Like I said, I do not like Philly's offense right now. Devontae Smith has not played in practice yet, so we'll see about that. But the good thing is for the Eagles now they're getting AJ Brown back into the offensive rotation a little bit. It feels like he's starting to get he looks like he's starting to get the rolling again, how he should be rolling at the beginning of the season. And Jalen Hurts, like I said, he just needs to throw the ball more. And this game particularly here, I think they're going to have to run the ball with Saquon because the Bears do allow points on defense. So the Bears don't have the best defense in the world. So if the Eagles are able to run the ball with Saquon and get the ball to AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, I think they'll do just enough here to win the game. Like I said, I kind of expect this one to be a close one. Like I said, this is my 1-point game of the week. I can see this one go either way, but I'm going to lean towards the Eagles in this one. They take care of business, 24-23. Like I said, 1-point squeaker. Should be an awesome Friday night game. I'm going to tell you that. Should be an awesome Friday night game for sure. I'm gonna take the Bears with the plus 7.5 points because not only I do think the Bears can win this game, and I think this is a winnable game for the Bears, but the Bears have been playing hot. Their offense is better. I think they're better coached right now. So that part of me is like leaning towards the Bears with the points here. So I'm going to take the Bears at plus 7.5 here. This is, like I said, this is a winnable game for the Bears. If the Bears pull this off, I would not be that shocked. And I'm going to take the over 46.5. That's actually kind of risky because both defenses could have a heyday here. There's just multiple scenarios where this game could go, but I'm going to lean towards the under in this one. I'm going to take with the over in this one at 46.5. But this should be a pretty entertaining Friday night game. Next up, we got the Niners playing against the Cleveland Browns here. I'm gonna take the Niners here. I think they win this one 21-16. I'm not really expecting too much from this game, to be completely honest. Number one, it's gonna be cold down there in Cleveland, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it has a chance to snow in this game. I'm not sure, but if that's the case here, then I don't really see San Francisco playing well, because if we look at San Francisco, yes, they're a good team, but they haven't really played well like in the snow. Just go back and go check in on their Buffalo game. They haven't really played well there, but they played well last week. I don't like what I seen in their offense last week. They turned the football 3 times. It was very unfortunate. I mean, San Francisco won a game that they kind of did not deserve to win last week against the Panthers. They should have lost that game. You turn over the football that many times, you do deserve to lose. But they kind of got lucky that Carolina couldn't really convert on those turnovers. You're looking at Cleveland. Like I said, Cleveland did beat Vegas last week, and Shedeur Sanders got his first career win here. But I don't think he's going to get the job done here. You're playing against a good team here. You're playing against a team that's well coached here in San Francisco. I like what I've seen out of Kyle Shanahan so far this year. Niners just feel like the more balanced team. They just feel like the more balanced team on paper here. Sure, I can see a scenario where Cleveland's defense hunts, but at the same time, San Francisco also has a decent defense. I know that they've been missing guys, and they still look decent on defense. So I think this one could go either way. Honestly, I was actually going back and forth with this game originally, but my final answer here is San Francisco. I think they get the job done here. I think CMC, Brock Purdy, yes, he does need to play better, because if he doesn't, there's a scenario that the Browns do cover that 4.5, but he's going to need to play better, because he's playing against one of the best defenses in the league, and Myles Garrett's been absolutely incredible. He was incredible last week. I can see him doing almost the same thing in this game, and I can see this game being a trap game for of course, San Francisco, and the trends is that San Francisco hasn't won in Cleveland in a long time, so there is a chance. Like, if Brock Purdy plays the way he did last week, there is a chance that Cleveland wins this game, but I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to take San Francisco win this game. They win this one 21-16. I'm going to have them barely coming at 4.5, even though that could go either way, and I'm going to take the under 38.5 here. If it's raining, the weather's not perfect, both of these two teams have good defenses, but not the most consistent offense, and I'm wondering how Shedeur Sanders is going to do in this game. Rooting for my guy, but hopefully he plays well. But I'm going to take the under 38.5. I'm feeling pretty good about all these picks here. Next up, we got the Jags playing against the Next up, we got the Jags playing against the Tennessee Titans here, and I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though I do think this game will be messy, let me tell you, Jacksonville. If you guys have not watched Jacksonville games this year, they are messy as hell. But I'm going to take them to win this game. I think they barely pull it off here. I'm going to take them 20-13. And that's just another game I could just see going either way. Jacksonville has probably been one of the most inconsistent teams in all of football. Yes, they're 7-4, but I think you can easily say that they're undeserving to win the majority of the games that they have won, just because their offense is just not pleasing to watch here. I mean, I know Trevor Lawrence is got some guys injured, but he really hasn't been playing well. And I know Jacoby Myers is getting fit into that system. Actually, I do like what I'm seeing at Jacoby Myers so far in Jacksonville in that short time being, but I just think the offense needs to play better. And playing this game against Tennessee, and I gave a lot of credit to Tennessee last week. I think they played with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. Yes, they didn't lose last week to the Seattle Seahawks, a team that was significantly better than them. But they played with heart, they played with passion, they played tough, and I'll give them credit. I think they can hang around this game. I was nearly thinking about taking the Tennessee Titans with the points here at plus 6.5. I was really thinking about it, but I just don't trust Tennessee. I just don't trust them as a team. It just feels like if Tennessee keeps games close, their special teams is doing something to set up the offense, or their special teams is doing something to like force a turnover or something like that. So I think they're just relying a lot on special teams. That's it, because their offense is terrible. Cam Ward's been terrible, even though, like I said, it's too early. It's too early to say like it is final. This is where he's gonna be, and but I just don't trust Tennessee. I don't trust their team. I don't trust their offense. I don't trust anything about that team. Offense, defense, whatever. But I'm going to take Jacksonville with the points here, and I'm actually feeling pretty good about taking the under in this game. 41.5. Jacksonville's been way too inconsistent. Tennessee's a bad team, so this is another game I could just see Jacksonville getting another undeserving winning here. So I'm going to take them 20-13. I think this game's going to be messy all around the board. Potential to be a worst game of the week, but not this one. But at the end of the day, Jacksonville gets another win here on the road, but could be a little tricky here. Next up, we have Houston playing against Indy. I think this one could be close. I'm not going to lie with you. Houston's defense, I mean, holy shit. Houston's defense, like I said in the picture, they absolutely beat the living shit out of the Bills last week. And if I'm being honest, it was kind of fun to watch. I love watching this defense play. Defense look good from start to finish. Their offense looks like it's bouncing back a little bit. Now, I did hear that CJ Stroud is coming back, but if I'm being completely honest, and I don't think this is bold at all, I think the offense has looked better with Davis Mills under center than CJ Stroud, but I don't know. But we'll see. CJ Stroud's coming back. I'm pretty sure he's going to be starting in this game. The Colts are at home here. I think this one could go either way, honestly, because the pick against the spread was tough in this one. It was at 4.5, and my original thought, okay, Houston's probably going to cover that because Houston's defense is so damn dominant. Like they can go out there, and even playing against one of the best offensive teams in the league, I think Houston can do a great job defensively. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, this is a really tough one to pick here. But I'm gonna give the size to a team. I think I'm gonna give it to Indy. I think they win this game 23-17. I think the home field really plays into factor here, because there is a scenario that Houston goes out there, they kick the shit out of Indy's offense, and they win this game because of their defense. I can absolutely see it. Houston's defense can carry them to victories here. I'm not gonna fall for it though. Like, I think this one could go either way. I think the Texans could win this game. They very much could. They could rely on that defense, and that offense wakes up. Houston can easily win this, and Houston can easily cover this. But I'm going to lean towards Indy. I do think Indiana's not going to score as much points as it did last week against Kansas City. This is another good defensive team, but you're at home this time. Typically, your offensive performance are coming better at home than it is on the road here. So this game is in Houston. I would be going to Texans. And this is the big game for both teams because Jacksonville's getting closer to Indy, and Houston needs to win this game to be able to keep up with the division. So I think that this is a huge game here. But I'm going to lean toward Indiana. I'm going to trust the home field advantage for Indiana to win it. But this is another tricky game that could go either way, and that's why this is this week's trickiest game of the week. But like I said originally, I was going back and forth with this one. This one could go either way. I'm going to lean towards the home team in the situations. I'm going to go with Indy, but I absolutely can see Houston winning this game, and I would not be shocked if they did. After that, we have New Orleans taking on against Miami. I think this one will be short and sweet here. I'm going to take the Dolphins to win this game 26-18. Like I said, the Saints are just a mess right now. They're just a team that just can't pick right now. Their offense looks messy. Their defense looks messy. Everything looks messy about New Orleans Saints. Like I said, it looked like a preseason football team last week. It looked absolutely pathetic, especially coming off a bye week. I didn't think they're going to be that bad. I mean, shit. I don't think anybody can be that bad. But anyway, yeah, the Saints, they looked terrible last week. Let's just call it what it is. They look terrible. Dolphins are coming off a bye week, but recently the Dolphins have actually been rolling a little bit. I think they won 3 out of the last 4 games. Teams looking like they're going. I mean, it'll just be disappointing if Miami loses this game, especially playing against the Saints team that looked really bad a week prior. I know the Saints are going to bounce back, kind of. I know they will. It's just an NFL thing. It's going to happen here. The NFL teams are going to make adjustments here, but the Dolphins should win this game. Dolphins should be able to have success here offensively. I think Tua's going to have a big game here. I know Tua's inconsistent, but he shouldn't be inconsistent playing against the New Orleans Saints. I don't think that's going to happen here. The Dolphins should be able to win this game, so I'm going to take on 26-18 here. I think the Dolphins, they should be able to score. Jalen Wallace should be just fine. This game's the phone Chan. He's fully healthy. He should be fine. I like Miami's options in this game. I think they can do pretty well, especially playing that defense. This is a game that Miami needs to win, and I think this is a game that Miami needs to say, we're going to go out there, we're going to hopefully get in a playoff push, and we just need to win this game outright. So I'm going to trust the Dolphins in this situation. I'm not going to trust the Saints after what I saw last week. I'm not going to trust it. I think Miami should be able to come out and win this game. I mean, this explanation is just simple. The Dolphins should be able to win this game. That's all I got. Miami minus 5.5. Feel pretty good about that. Over 42.5. Feel pretty good about that. Dolphins, take care of business, please. Alrighty, after that, we have probably the most confusing game that I'll ever predict this year, but we have the Falcons playing against the New York Jets, and like I said, this is probably the most confusing game of the year, because if you look at these two teams, both of these two teams, well, you have one team that's just horseshit in the New York Jets. I mean, they're just terrible. And then you have another team that's just inconsistent at whatever they do, offensively, defensively. They're just inconsistent at everything here. So I'm like, you know what? So I'm just gonna go with the team that I think that has the better weapons. So I have the better weapons, who has the better offense. Plus, I don't know the stats of Breece Hall. I mean, not Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. We still don't know the stats of Garrett Wilson in this game. We don't know if he's going to be playing. I do not think he's going to be playing, but that's the last time I checked. This game is just weird. It's just a game that could just go either way here. I'm not comfortable about anything here. Well, final score, picked against the spread. I'm not comfortable with anything here. Like I said, I think this is a weird game that can just go either way. But I'm gonna lean towards Atlanta to win this game 24-18, just because I think they have the more offensive weapons here. So I'm not comfortable with anything here. Picks it now over 39.5. I think that's the only thing here that I'm feeling pretty good about, because the Falcons should be able to score enough on that Jets defense, and the Jets should be able to keep this game semi-close. So like I said, I'm not really expecting a blowout here, and I'm not expecting this game to be like a 13-10 game, because both teams do have offensive weapons here. Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, that good running back duo. Can't wait to watch that. I mean, this game is just sloppy to me. I'm going to go ahead and predict it. This is the worst game of the week, man. I just think this game's going to be sloppy. It's going to go back and forth here, but I'm going to lean towards the Falcons to win this one. I trust their offense. I trust their firepower. I trust Kirk Tober a little bit more here. So I'm going to take them 2.5. Like, I'm not really feeling too good about anything here, but I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna have the Falcons win the game. But if the Jets win, I understand him. I can absolutely see it. Jets been playing a little bit better. Yes, they're still losing games, but they've been playing a little bit better as of late. But I'm gonna lead this one towards the Falcons. But this is a very questionable game here. Next up, we have the Cardinals playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, and there's multiple scenarios I can see going with this one. Plus, number one, we don't know if Baker Mayfield's playing or not. Well, he said, just like I said in the picture yesterday, I tried to wait to get this video a little bit out later, see if I can have more clear information about Baker Mayfield before I post out this video, and I couldn't get any. His status is still questionable for the game. I do not know if he's going to be playing or not, but yeah, that's going to be a tough one. If he misses, that's going to be a problem for the Buccaneers, because I can see the Cardinals absolutely taking advantage of that. But this game here, I'm going to lean towards the Bucs. I think they win this game 30-20, but this is a score if Baker Mayfield plays. And how I'm going right now, I'm kind of expecting him to play in this game. So this is with Baker Mayfield playing. If he does play, I'm going to keep the score as it is. I'm going to take the Buccaneers to win this one 30-20 here. Like I said, this prediction is based off if Baker Mayfield plays, and I think he will. So I'm going to go 30-20 here. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business. The Bucs are getting cold. Like I said, they are getting cold at the wrong time here, because the Panthers are catching up in the division here. They only a half game out. They kind of got lucky that San Francisco beat them last week. Other than they probably would take the division lead right now. So yeah, I think the Bucs, this is a big game for them. They're coming back home. I think their offense needs to bounce back. I think they will here. Cardinals can win this game because Jacoby Brissett looks like he can keep the Cardinals in competitive range. Like I said, I don't think they're going to win, but I do think they can keep this game competitive. I do think they will fight, but I'm not going to take Arizona here. I'm not going to. The team's a little bit of a slump fest. Their offense has been a little bit overwhelming so far. Their defense, the Cardinals are just basically relying on their defense. Like, if their defense doesn't play well, then the whole team is not going to play well. So I think the Buccaneers should be able to get the job done here at home, coming back home. They've been a little cold, knowing what they need to do, knowing that they need to start winning games here. The Cardinals are basically kind of out of the playoff mix. It kind of feels like it. So yeah, I'm going to lean towards Tampa Bay. This is a big game. Tampa Bay needs to win this game. Tampa Bay needs to cover that spread at 3.5. That's why I'm winning there, because they need to cover that. Plus, that's too low for me to pick Arizona anyway. And then under 43.5, over under. I'm going to lean towards the over in this one, because I'm kind of expecting to see offense here. You know, Buka, and this game has a lot of offensive weapons. Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming back. You got K-Dot, you got Buka, you get Chris Godwin. Maybe he gets back in the system here. I just think there's too many offensive weapons for me to pick the under in this game, so I'm going to go with the over, but I do have the Bucs winning, assuming that Baker plays, 30-20. All right, now we got the Rams at the Panthers here. I'm going to take the Rams here 33-17. I can see the Panthers maybe keeping this one close or keeping it semi-close here, but I'm not going to pick it here. I'm not going to fool around with it. I think the Rams are going to take care of business here. The Panthers, they had a decent performance last week against San Francisco. Actually, I'm surprised they did not end up winning that game, because if you look at it, they forced the Niners to 3 turnovers. So I give a lot of credit to their defense. They forced 3 turnovers on San Francisco, and they only got 3 points out of it. I think that's kind of the reason why the Panthers lost last week, and I think that was a winnable game. I think they needed to win that game because you're playing against a team like this, who the Rams are probably, I'm no bias here, but I think the Rams are the best team in football right now. It's just tough. I mean, I don't see Carolina's defense stopping the Rams offense. Like, to Matthew Stafford, he's out here playing like a 26, 27-year-old. He's probably the MVP of the league right now, if I'm being completely honest with you. Kyron Williams, I think he's gonna have a big. I think he's gonna have a big day on Carolina's rush defense, even though that has been improved from last year. Devontae Adams is a touchdown machine. Puka Nacua is probably one of the best wide receivers in football right now. I just think this is a lot for Carolina to cover here. It's just a lot to cover. I'm not going to trust that secondary playing against a team like this. It has multiple weapons. Their depth is huge. I'm not going to trust Carolina in this situation here. So even though it's at home, and Carolina's been balling out at home. Carolina, if you guys know this season, Carolina's been a way better team at home than they are on the road. If this game was in LA, then I would have picked the score to be like I don't know, 38-13, something like that. I would have had this game being an absolute snot pounding here. But this is not the ass beating of the week, because I do give respect to Carolina. I think they're a decent football team. I think they can score, even though the Rams defense have been absolutely balling out this year. I think they will throw up 17 points. I think Dick McMillan can have a big day here on the receiver game, but at the same time, the Rams secondary has been pretty damn good too. So I just think the Rams are going to win this game. I'm not expecting this game to really be semi-close, just not completely close. Rams covered at 10.5, winning this game 33-17, and I'm definitely comfortable about taking the over here at 44.5. But like I said, the Rams, this is a big game for them. They need to keep in first place in the division. This is a big game for the Panthers too, because Buccaneers lose. Okay, and the door's wide open for them. I just don't think it's going to be this week. Not against the best team in football here. So I do think the Rams should be able to win and cover. But this game could get a little interesting if it doesn't plan out. Next up, we have Minnesota taking on against Seattle, and this is my ass beating of the week, because I'm pretty sure everybody would predict this. Well, if you guys watched my pick show, then I think this one would have been pretty obvious to you. I mean, I think this is a pretty obvious. I think I'm not going to go too long with this one. I think this one's going to be short and simple here. Seattle's going to kick their ass. I'm not expecting this game to be close enough. No, I would love to be wrong here. If Minnesota wins this game, then please go right ahead. You're just going to do nothing but help my Rams out. Just go right ahead. But I'm not going to trust them to win this game. Jaden McCarthy is under concussion protocol. The team is just a mess right now. Their offense is brutal. Their defense, at the start of the season, I thought it was going to be good, but it's not really that good. You're going into Seattle. Seattle's been one of the best teams in football. They have one of the best offenses in football. Their defense has been smacking down on teams. So I just don't see it. I don't see a scenario how Minnesota keeps this game close or just wins it. I just don't see it. Seattle's been dominant, especially wearing the throwback uniforms. I just think that's the final touch here. Minnesota, like I said, they've just been a complete mess. I mean, you talk about the last couple of weeks, they have been awful. Let's just call it what it is. They've been awful. They've been terrible. JJ McCarthy looked terrible. The offense looks terrible. The offense looked terrible last week against a good defense in Green Bay. I just don't see them going out there and just beating a team like this. I just don't see it, especially with this game being in Minnesota. With this game being in Seattle, I just don't see it. Like I said, I just do not. I'm just trying to picture a way how Minnesota can get this game close, and I just don't see it at all. It just keep getting error. Like I just don't see it. I don't think it's gonna happen here. I'm gonna take Seattle with the spread, another 10.5 point spread here, which is, it's kind of interesting, but I'm kind of surprised. If I'm being honest, I think I can see the Rams spread being 10.5, but I'm kind of surprised this spread's not more than 10.5. I would have favored Seattle like 14 or 15 in this one, maybe 13, but I'm going to take Seattle. Seattle wins this one all the way. Should be a pretty easy game for them. Over 41.5. I feel pretty good about that, because, if I'm being honest, I think Seattle has a chance of doing that themselves in this one. So I'm going to take Seattle for the win here. Should be a pretty cruise control day for Seattle. Should be a pretty miserable day here for Minnesota. After that, we got the Buffalo Bills playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this game's actually be a lot closer than what people think here. The Bills have been Bills a bit alright. They've been kind of inconsistent in that part of manner, but they're alright. They've been winning games when they're supposed to win. They're losing games that we probably don't expect them to lose at times, but they're still a pretty balanced team. And you look at the Steelers. I already wrote about the Steelers on my pick show, man. This team is probably one of the most inconsistent teams in all of football. What we saw 2 weeks ago, they were on the same page, and then I think the week before that, we seen their we seen their defense ball out, but their offense did shit. And then you look at last week against who they played last week. They played the Bears last week. Their offense rolled up, but their defense did absolutely nothing. It just felt like the Bears could just do whatever they wanted to on offense. So I don't know what version of the Steelers we're going to get. I don't know if we're going to get the offensive the offensive version or the defensive version. I don't know what I'm going to get out of the Steelers. It's just the uncertainty of the Steelers was kind of like I need to go with the Bills here. Plus, I think this game actually means more to the Bills. I know the Steelers are kind of tied in the division, but they have margin for error. Like they can lose this game, and then hopefully they still have 2 matches with Baltimore. It's not only with that, it's because I think the Bills are the better team here. I think the Bills offense clicks here, especially how the Steelers defense have been playing. I think the Bills can go out there and get down the field. Yes, they had a tough matchup against Houston last week, and I already talked about it. They got their asses kicked last week. They got their asses kicked last week against Houston. I'm pretty sure everybody can say that for sure. I even posted on my Discord about them taking the ass beating last week, but yeah, I think Buffalo bounces back here. I think James Cook has a better day. I think Josh Allen bounces back here. And the Bills need a win because they need to catch up to the Patriots, because if they don't, if the Patriots win again this week, then it's pretty much all over here. So the Bills, they need to win. This is the game I think Josh Allen's going to bounce back. Steelers defense have been inconsistent. Like I said, I don't know what kind of version of defense we're going to get from the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is going to be coming back from this one, so I do see the Steelers throwing up points. I think we're going to see the more of the offensive side of the Steelers here. I'm not really expecting the defense to really show up. I mean, it could. It's in Pittsburgh, so this game was a little bit tougher. This game was in Buffalo. I would feel more comfortable about this pick, but Aaron Rodgers playing in the center, feel my odds are pretty better, but I'm gonna lean with Buffalo in this one. They win this game to 30-24. It could go either way, but I'm gonna go with the Bills here. Buffalo minus 3.5 feels pretty alright to me. I'm not comfortable about it, but I'll go with it. Over 46.5, I feel pretty good about that, but I'm gonna lean towards Buffalo. They win the game, but it's not going to be an easy one. Playing in Pittsburgh is not that easy. Alrighty, folks. After that, we have the Chargers playing against the Las Vegas Raiders here. I think that I'm going to keep this one short and simple too. I'm going to take the Chargers and win this game 27-14 here. The Chargers are coming off the bye week. They're at home now. If this game was on the road, then I could see a scenario that Vegas maybe keep this one close, maybe get this one competitive here. But I'm not going to pick it. The Chargers feel like they're a different team when they're on the home or on the road, because we're on the road. The Chargers feel like they're just a little bit inconsistent when it comes down to them being on the road games. It just feels like they've been a little bit off. And if we look at the home games, it just feels like the Chargers find their groove. When they find their groove at home, which that should be every single NFL team. Like how the Chargers have been at home and the road so far this year, that's how it should be every team. And when you think about this, I did pick the Chiefs today. I did pick them to win on the road because the Chiefs are not really a good team on the road. But I don't know. I decided to go with the Chiefs there. But for this one, the Chargers, this is exact opposite here. The Chargers, they're a good team at home. I think they take care of business here. They're wearing the uniforms, the dark blue uniforms, which I absolutely love, by the way. I think they take care of business here. I'm going to take them 27-14 here. I feel pretty good about this pick because the Chargers, they should be able to win this game. Justin Herbert should be able to sling the ball over when he wants to here. I do think they get Hampton back this week, so off the injuries, which is going to be very entertaining. I think the Chargers really need that. I think that will help them a lot here. So the Chargers, they should be able to clinch this one. I do feel pretty good about the points here. I'm minus 9.5 for the Chargers, and I feel pretty good about taking the over because I over 40.5. I just think that's too small for me to pick the under. Like if you think about it, the Chargers, I think they will put up more than 27 points. I'm predicting 27 points, but I think they have a good chance of putting up more than 27 points because the Raiders' defense has been absolutely phenomenal. Actually, speaking about the Raiders, they've been like shit this last couple of weeks. They've been awful. I mean, they've been playing like one of the worst teams in football. Last week, they looked like one of the worst teams in football. And like I said, especially in the pick show, like a winnable game against the Cleveland Browns at home, and they go out there and get embarrassed the ways they did, and Shedeur Sanders look like a superstar against them. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to trust you after that. I don't know if I can trust you for any more games after that. I mean, they just look terrible. They're right there, like I said in the picture yesterday. They're right there with the Saints, or I should say earlier this morning. But they're just terrible. They look terrible. They look like one of the worst teams in football. I think the Chargers are going to go out there and kick their ass. Like I said, this is not the ass beating of the week because thankfully Seattle and Minnesota is a thing. But this game here, I just think this is a no-brainer here. I got to go with the Chargers. They're the better team. They're at home here. Coming out the bye week 2, I just think this is all cruise control, another cruise control game here, and I think the Chargers should be able to take care of business on this one. And now moving on to Sunday Night Football here. Like I said, we got 2 games to go. It's a long slate this week. But anyway, we have the Broncos playing against the Washington Commanders here. I'm going to trust Denver to win this one, and for a variety of reasons here. I think this one's a no-brainer too. I'll keep this one short and simple. Number one, I just think Denver's a better team. I think everybody knows that Denver is the better team here. They're on the road. Broncos actually perform pretty good on the road. Number two, I just don't trust the Commanders. I just don't see a scenario how Marcus Mariota goes out there and just lights up I don't know, the Commanders are wearing those Redskin uniforms. I know it looks great, but I'm not going to trust them in this game. I don't think anybody's going to trust them in this game here. I don't think this is going to be a good game at all for Washington. I don't think so. And I don't even think they're going to score that much. I think, like I said, I only have them at 13 points this week. I know you're at home, but you're playing against one of the league's best defenses, one of the league's best scoring defenses, and all the football in the Denver Broncos. And Jaden Daniels, he's been at practice, but I'm kind of not expecting him to be playing in this game. I mean, if he does play, I do think he's going to have a hard return. I mean, he's going up against, like I said, one of the league's best defenses, one of the most dominant defenses in all of football. And it just feels like whoever's playing for Washington or whoever's under center, I just don't think they're going to have a good time with Denver's defense. It's just hard for me to pick Plus, Washington's defense is terrible. It looks like they can't stop anybody, but at the same time, that's kind of like why I'm going to go with the under in this one, because Washington, I'm not expecting to score because they're under 43.5, which I'm actually feeling pretty good about, because Washington can't really score, and I'm not really expecting them to score against one of the league's best defenses. And then when you look at the Denver Broncos, their offense has been a little bit inconsistent themselves. Bo Nix has been a little bit inconsistent. The whole offensive crew has been a little bit inconsistent. So I know Washington can't stop anybody, so I got them scoring at 26 points. But at the same time, like I said, the Denver's offense is inconsistent to the point that I don't think this game is going to be a complete blowout. So I'm going to have them at 26 points, 13. That's why I'm going to lean towards the under in this game, because if the Broncos offense was a little bit more consistent, I probably would have them winning at a bigger rate, which means I probably would take the over in this game, but I'm not going to fall for it. I know Denver's come off a bye week too, and maybe they figure out some stuff offensively, but just based off what I've seen this year, I'm not really going to trust them that much. But I do have them win this. I do have the double leg of the Commanders to win this game 26-13, but what I've seen so far this year, I'll take the under, and then Denver minus 6.5 should be able to cover that. Kind of surprised the spread is not bigger than that, but just like I said, just based on the scenario, whoever Marcus Mariota, Jaden Daniels is, they're not going to have money against this Denver defense. Denver should be able to win this game off their defense, and this should be a pretty Denver one-sided Sunday Night Football game. And last but not least, guys, we have Monday Night Football here between the Giants and the New England Patriots. And it kind of surprising that the Giants are the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, which is kind of crazy because they actually performed pretty damn well against the Detroit Lions last week. They gave it their all. They fought hard. Yeah, I know they didn't win, but they fought hard. They gave it their all. And if I'm being honest, I think Detroit was actually lucky to win that game. I think the Giants should have won that game. The Giants were winning the entire time, and then Detroit execute them in overtime here, but I'm gonna lean towards the Patriots. I think they win this 128-21. I'm actually feeling, the more I think about it, I'm actually feeling pretty good about the spread there. But I think the Patriots are favored by too much in this game. I'm gonna take the Giants at plus 7.5 in this one. And there's I know the Patriots are the hottest team in football. Yes, I know they won 9 straight. Yeah, I know the Patriots are probably looking forward to the number 1 seed, and I do think they will win the game. But I do think the Giants will keep it close. Jameis Winston, he's been slinging it out. He looked pretty damn good last week against the Giants, I'm not gonna lie. And the Patriots are a little bit banged up defensively. I mean, yes, they're still good defensively. Especially the run defense. The run defense is absolutely phenomenal. But when you look at the Giants offense, it doesn't look like they're leaning more towards the run. It looks like they're leaning more towards the pass. And if you want to beat a team like the Detroit Lions like last week, like they should have done, they leaning towards the pass. They've been smart. I said that's how you beat the Lions. You go out towards their offense, and the Giants did a prime example of that. But they got executed in overtime. That's the only reason why I think they lost last week. But like I said, they should have won last week. Don't get me wrong, they should have won last week, but they didn't. And I do think Jameis Winston will sling it out here. Yes, he does have a tougher matchup ahead of him. Right now, the Patriots have been a pretty good pass defense overall. I mean, they do allow some plays now and then, but I do think Jameis Winston can have somewhat of a success here playing against the Patriots here. But I'm not going to expect him to win the game though. This game is in Foxborough. It's Monday night. Even though I can see I can see the Giants keeping this game close, and that's why I have it at plus 7.5. I'm just not expecting them to win this game, especially with the game being played in New England. The Patriots are wearing their throwback logos. I'm going to lean towards the Patriots on this one. But if this game is close, I would not be shocked. The Patriots' run defense is pretty good. Giants rely on the pass. I think they will score. I think they can score. I think their offense has actually been better than what people think. So the more I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, okay, the Giants are going to cover the spread at plus 7.5. I'm not expecting them to win the game. Over 46.5, I'm actually feeling pretty good about that because, like I previously said, I think both teams are going to sling the rock. I think both teams will have opportunity to score the rock in this game. So I'm going to lean towards the over in this one at 46.5 for that one. But like I said, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in for this one. Like I said, every video is early out this week. If you guys haven't checked out our pick show, make sure you guys please do so. I really do appreciate everybody's support. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of here so you guys can go ahead and watch in zone time. I appreciate everybody's support, and happy Thanksgiving to you guys, aka tomorrow. Have a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy the games this week, or in this game Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is BigManition.com. Peace out. Stay safe. See you guys next time. Peace.